Hello. Got a pretty simple task here. Started out simple, got complicated. Simple tasks usually end up being complicated. But what we've got is we've got a 16-volt battery here that is required to spin this motor over fast enough to fire the mag off. The problem with that is this 16-volt battery has too much voltage, really reads 18 volts for the filament lights. So what I did to overcome that is I put a little trailer breakaway battery right here, which is 12 volts, and I ran the filament lights, the dash lights, the shift light, the oil pressure light, the LED tail light off of this battery. The problem with that is that although I could set this thing up to turn off when you turn the main power off, it gets a little complicated. You got to use a solenoid to do it. I ended up getting a converter, which will take an 18-volt battery. It takes anything from 8 volts to 48 volts and makes 12 volts out of it. So we're going to mount the converter back in the cockpit area and run just the filaments off. Now those are available through Turbo Start batteries, but they're way too big for what I need. I only need to run 5 filament bulbs and an LED. So I did find one after some research, and I'll show that to you. This is my book on the motor here, and I put everything in there so that I can find it. And I was wrong. This thing says it'll convert anything from 9 to 36 volts to 12 volts. And that's this unit right here. So what I'm going to do, and I'll put a reference to this, I'm going to put this thing right there. It fits real nice. So the next step is to take this panel out so that I can mount it in. And I fortunately wired this so that it comes apart and comes out of there very easy. I just unplug everything and it'll come out. So that's the next step. As with any project that you think is going to be simple, it always becomes much more complicated and involved than what you originally thought. So what should have been probably a half-hour project has now taken all day. But now we're done. We've got the converter right there. This board here is for 12 volts. It supplies power to the dash lights, the shift lights, the backup light, and I've wired but not installed wires for a dome light up here, and that's so that when my wife is strapping me in, she can see. No more flashlight. So I have to order that and put it up here, but it's all wired, the switch is in, and I have a hot and a ground, so I don't have to worry about grounding it. So now we can move on to the next step. This is the next step. Right here, we have a little auxiliary battery. And as I explained, we use that to run the filaments for the bulbs, because this battery, which is 16 volts, really produces 18 volts and makes the lights too bright. What this is a primer pump. And on the dash, there's a little button I can push to run this, and it will take fuel and pump it into the distribution box and back to the hat. Now the only reason I need this is that we've been having trouble with this thing stalling after the burnout. And the only reason we can think it stalls after the burnout is because of the size of this fuel line, and this pump isn't great at sucking, it's great at pumping. The inertia from stopping causes the fuel to run forward and makes the pump run dry. And if you stall, you get 30 seconds to get it started without assistance once you've started. So the idea is to take this battery out and put this pump in there like that. And that pump will fit right there. I did put a bung in the tank, so I don't have to worry about fuel. I can run fuel from the tank to the pump, from the pump to the distribution button block, and push a button and it will cause the engine to have fuel and it'll fire back up. So that's the next step. We're going to take this battery out and put this in. In order to do that, I got to take the fire bottles out. So here we go. As always is the case, when you need to work on something in a dragster, you have to take it completely apart. Battery's gone, transmission cooler's gone, fire bottles are gone, but now I can get to this and we'll get this done. I spaced that out a little bit, so now that this thing will sit a little proud of this, I'll get air circulation underneath it. But more importantly, when I put this in with the nuts and bolts in there, this thing will go down on top of it, and we can do that. So let's bolt that in. That goes there like that. That's labeled out. This is labeled in. These are nylock nuts, so no lock nuts required. Wouldn't want the nut to fall off and go in a tire. Some of these tracks aren't particularly clean anyway. Well, I had a nut, there it is. And those are nylocks, so no lock nut is needed. Now this one goes on top of that. Like that. It goes there. Clears that. Now we got nice air circulation all the way around it. These are also nylon nuts. Okay. This hose is going to go just like this. And this hose like that. Okay, a little cleanup here now. Clean up on aisle 5.
back off?
I didn't have it on. Go ahead.
See, that's backwards of mine. That's okay. All right, try again.
Do that at least once.
Tight. Right on my feet. Oh boy, we ain't gonna last long in here. My eyes are killing me already.
Okay. Well, we know we got fuel now.
I don't think you have a fire. Go ahead and just give it a hit. That's pretty good.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah, we gotta put an arrow on there. This goes clockwise. So advance is that way. Retard is that way. So
I
advance is
just
that
want to
way.
which way is it rotating? All I care
It
about
rotates this way.
Then just from there on after rotation. That's all I care about.
I like to put advance to retard.
Okay, well then that's gonna be retarding and that's gonna be advancing.
Okay, so this is advance. Correct?
Yeah.
Alright.
You gotta retard it.
What do you want to
Make sure I'm looking at the right one. You know what I'm thinking? Maybe that was the zero mark I was looking at. Right there. I'm familiarize myself with that. There was a silver stripe. But you might have left out that center silver. Oh, yeah, I'm on the wrong one. It don't take much. As soon as the fires, I'll know where I'm at. Now I can.
Ready? Ready?
Yeah.
No fuel.
What the hell did you run out of fuel?
Ready?
Yep. Faster, a little bit more. Almost perfect. Okay.
Ready?
Yep. Pickup is perfect. The mag's about 28.
Okay.
So I'm going to adjust a tiny bit more.
No wind here.
Not that it makes a huge difference.
No place to mark it.
Let's try again.
Ready?
Cross your fingers. Yep. I want to flip it to the trigger again, make sure it's staying. Go ahead and start it again.
Ready?
Yep.
32?
Yeah, so we gotta, let's go this way. Gotta move it up 2 degrees, which, depending on how well we can see it, there's degree wheels on that wheel, so you gotta move it with 2, what is that, about like 63rds, 2 of those marks.
With this? What?
No, the pickup's gotta go that way.
Oh, the pickup. Oh, okay.
The trigger's 2 degrees off. So you gotta loosen that 7/16 nut up. I gotta have that same wire tight, because this thing flops all over.
Yeah.
And I gotta move it 2 degrees, 2 of those marks, which is
Okay.
maybe an 1/8 inch.
All right.
Yeah, that way.
That's warm. That's a good warm up.
Yeah, I should be able to adjust the valves, no problem.
Hello.
How's it going? Wondering if you could help me out. Do you know, can you bench test that and figure out if it's fine?
I have no way to bench this.
Yeah. It's like new.
You take 12 volts, go 12 to there, that to ground, take a screwdriver, stick it in there, put it to ground, and see if you get a spark.
Yeah. No, we're not.
What?
They were not, so I guess I got a bad new coil.
Okay, if you did that and you didn't get a spark, you got a bad coil.
And you touch it.
Yeah, you gotta break, make and break.
Yeah.
You can't just put it on, you gotta make and break.
I'll try that.
All right?
Give it a shot.
All right.
Cool, thanks.
What?
I can do the valve adjustment,
Okay.
or it cools off. That's right on money. Right on money. You know what I'm gonna do now?
You need that sound like your shoulder there. This is warm now.
Oh, yeah. The tighter it is, the more chemicals it has. That's it now?
So now, we're gonna go 20.
Oh, it's hot. Tighten up there.
See now, I deliberately did not tighten these things up.
Oh! See, it wasn't much. See, that's it.
You guys having trouble?
We're all done, we're adjusting valves, ready to rock and roll.
Okay. Did you give Steve water?
Water in the cooler.
Okay.
You didn't tell him, did you?
No. We were running around, so
I just came from lunch, I drank 2 glasses of water there, so. It's not as hot as yesterday. I drink a lot.
Oh, it's nowhere near as bad as yesterday.
I sweated a lot yesterday.
So I don't know that we're gonna have any time to test it tonight. I really don't. We got 3 weeks left. I got so much to do.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I think we're gonna just end up going.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So, however, whatever.
So we'll try to go the weekend before just to get down the track.
Sure.
10,000?
10,000 air miles less.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because you're using a,
Yeah, we're using our miles. But still.
check it.
George, you started it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're already gonna have
And
It ran.
It's perfect. Timing's right on. Took us a while to get that right. I was looking at the wrong marks first off.
Yeah, we got a little, almost a backfire. Doing, it's a whoops.
flat somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
How did that bother? I know, that's,
I don't know. You know, I'll probably sometime go back and get everyone right in the middle of what those ranges want to be. But for now, it's good.
all 21's about.
Well,
we just can't find it. What I did is I had, these are pretty good cheap.
yeah.
I drilled them out and I found a little piece of brass, a piece of plastic. And just put the tube in it
Yeah.
that I use. And they always stay in there too.
I ordered a holder that takes me, you put one on one end and
No,
one
I
on the
just,
other.
standing and keep working out.
So I said, I ordered the holder.
Just do mine the same.
I ordered the holder and I said, well, I don't want to break up my set. Can you sell just the individuals?
No.
So now we have a new mystery. This filter was completely cleaned out before we started the motor. We only ran the motor for about a minute, maybe a gallon or two of fuel. This is what's in the filter after that short period of time. I have no explanation. We're running these two tanks through this dash 16 fuel line to a brand new pump, to a filter that is in between the pump and the K valve. So where that garbage is coming from, I have no idea. Here are some pictures of the filter and the trash we found in it. The inside of the pump looks okay. The chips in the filter do not look like it's compatible with the wear inside the pump. It looks like some of the surface anodize has come off, but I don't see any chips or that kind of wear in the pump. Oh, shoot! Oh!